Hi, good evening, everyone. Nice to see so many people today joining the class. Good evening. Okay, shall we start now? Acha, before I start, any doubt in anything? I hope you have given the weekly test. Good evening. Are more people going to join? Okay, let's start, I think. Let's start. Okay, so on that day, we were talking about the topic of series. So we are talking about the converging series as well as the diverging series. So I hope how many of you have appeared the weekly test yesterday? How many of you? Did someone face any difficulty while attempting the questions? Anyone want to share anything? नहीं, कोई भी नहीं बोलना चाहता. ठीक है. Now the last thing we did was, I think that was geometric series, right? So geometric series हो गया. उसके बाद we talk about harmonic series. We talk about harmonic series. What is a harmonic series? How does it looks like? So if you see a series written like this, summation 1 upon k, summation 1 upon n, anything like that, it means that is a harmonic series. So here k can take value from 1 and can go till infinity. So it looks like 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 5 plus so on. Now harmonic series, remember, is always diverging. Is always diverging. Always. If you use the divergence test, what do you get? If we use the divergence test, what do you get? You get limit k approaches infinity 1 upon k. So that should be 1 upon infinity, that is 0. Now, as soon as it comes out to be 0, my divergence test fails. My divergence test fails. So the harmonic series is diverging does not come from divergence test. There is an entire proof that why it is diverging, but as you know, it is not something which you need to do as proof. नहीं आते हैं UGC नेट के एग्जाम में. But there is a complete proof. In case anyone is interested to know, you can drop a message on subject matter expert and I can share it. Okay, this is what you have. कोई डाउट है यहाँ तक? अब after this now we talk about product of the two series. No product nahi, addition, sum of two series, and even the difference of two series we have already done. Up we are going to talk about some of the different things in series, like alternating series hoti hai. All these things we are going to now talk about. तो उसमें we are just going to see directly whether this series is diverging series or whether this series is converging series. Okay. Now, similarly, the way we have this thing, the harmonic series, we also have a lot of other series. I hope we have more people. Anybody missed anything? कोई ज़्यादा कुछ मिस हो गया हो तो प्लीज लेट मी नो, आई विल हेल्प यू आउट. चलो. Now, so I was talking about, we have just, to anybody who has just joined, I would like to tell you, we have just talked about harmonic series. Harmonic series looks like summation 1 upon n or summation 1 upon k, and it is always diverging, and there is a full proof why it is like that. Divergence test although fails here. So divergence test does not have any uh, relation with the harmonic series over here. Now after this, so harmonic series, do you know how does it looks like? Why does it, after seeing at the graph, you will realize the harmonic series is not diverging. So it looks something like this. As soon as the value of k increases, the value is falling here. So series is basically the sum. Since the ends are not meeting, the sum is also going to be not finite. That is the reason why harmonic series never diverge. Okay. Now, there are very simple tests which are used to check the convergence or divergence. One is comparison test. One is comparison test. Now, what is comparison test? Comparison test find out whether a series is converging or diverging using comparison, just like we have done in squeeze theorem. So what does it say? It says, let's say you have two series, series AN and series BN. Let's say you have these two series. Okay. Now, in these two series, series AN is smaller than series BN. It can be equal also, but smaller, never greater. So BN is the bigger series, whereas AN is the smaller series. Okay. Now, this is what is happening. So the comparison test says that if the bigger series, that is BN, converges, I'm using the word CGS for converges. If this converges, then series which is smaller series will always also converge. देखो ना, the series which has bigger terms, if it is converging, the smaller one is definitely going to be converging. Because if bigger series is going to a finite number, the smaller series will also go to a finite number. And vice versa is the case, that if my smaller series, that is AN, this diverges, then the bigger series also diverges. The bigger series also diverges. This is what it says. Okay. Now, the another type of series we have is the P series. P series. How does a P series look like? It looks like this. 1 upon n raised to the power P over here, where P is a fixed number. Where P is a fixed number. So there is a rule for this kind of series as well. Now, what is that rule? That rule is basically that this particular series is going to converge if P is greater than 1, but this will diverge if P is less than equal to 1. This is very easy, and as soon as you see such kind of series, you do not need to test it, you do not need to check it. You can very clearly mark the answer whether it is converging or whether it is diverging. Is it clear now? Any issue here? Now the another test we use is the ratio test. The another test we use is the ratio test. Now in ratio test, what we do is, let's say again, I have any positive series, which is summation an. Okay. What I am going to do is, I'm going to find the ratio of n plus 1 and nth term. And let's say it comes out to be L. Okay. Now, if L is between 0 and 1, then series is converging. If the ratio of L is greater than 1, then this series is diverging. And if, sorry for this zigzag line, and if L is equal to 1, then the test fails. This test basically fails. So you have to remember all these rules. They are very direct, but you have to remember them very clearly. ठीक है? So easy है, कोई ज़्यादा मुश्किल नहीं है. Now, alternating, like we have done alternating sequence. Similarly, we have alternating series. Alternating series. What is an alternating series? Alternating series is the one which just differs by the sign. So if I'm writing a series like this, minus 1 raised to the power n, a n. Now here, whenever n will be even, you get the term a n. But whenever n is odd, the term is minus a n. So this is an alternating series. One term will be positive, another will be negative, one will be positive, another will be negative. Now, in such kind of series, what you have is, due to some terms being positive, some terms being negative, when I add them, when I find out their sum, they cancel each other out. And due to this, they can get finite limit. Sometimes they do not get the finite limit. So for alternating series, we cannot say anything unless and until we have the series, we work on it in detail manner. So there is no rule which is basically followed for the alternating series. Okay, but how do we find it out? That is what we can understand here. Okay, all right. So the rule says that ऐसे तो direct I cannot say whether it is converging or diverging, but this series minus 1 raised to the power n an, what is the general term of the series? An. So if it is decreasing, if we have decreasing terms, what do we mean by decreasing terms? It means like a1 is smallest, biggest, a2 is then smaller than a2. So basically, when I'm moving forward, these all are falling. The a1 is the biggest, so I have a decreasing sequence. An जो है, that is a decreasing sequence, but all of them are positive. In this case, if we have decreasing terms and if the limit n approaches infinity, a n is 0. If both of the rules are fulfilled, then I will say series minus 1 n a n will converge. So I need these two conditions to get fulfilled in order to call it a converging series. If I want to call it a converging series, I need to get these two conditions fulfilled. If two conditions are getting fulfilled, then it is a converging series. Otherwise, it is not converging series. Now, due to this thing, if I come back to harmonic series, if I talk about alternating harmonic series, alternating harmonic series, which looks like summation minus 1 raised to the power n, 1 upon n. This always converges. This always converges because it follows a decreasing pattern and the limit is also 0. So you always have to remember that harmonic series always diverge, whereas alternating harmonic series always converge. Okay. After this, the last one is Alternating P series, अभी क्या था ना, P series in the starting. So alternating P series. What is an alternating P series look like? It look like minus 1 raised to the power n raised to the power p. So this series converges if p is strictly greater than 0. This diverges if p is strictly less than 0. So here is this rule. So these are some of the simple rule. As soon as you get a question of series in the paper, you just need to identify. सिर्फ identify करना है आपको that which series it is, and you should remember the rules of that series. If you do that, तो बहुत easily you will be able to mark the correct option. ठीक है, और बहुत easy question आते हैं series के, they are never difficult. कोई यहां तक डाउट है तो बताओ. Now we proceed on to differentiation. Okay, now moving on to differentiation. I have 5 students in the class right now. Tell me one thing, how many of you know how to find the derivative? You just have to answer in yes or no. When I ask how many of you know the derivative, सिर्फ yes or no में answer होता है. Topic name is differentiation. No, no. What about other people? One person left the class. What about the remaining 2 students, guys? Do you know differentiation? How to find derivative? Okay. So differentiation is very important topic. Why is it important topic? Even though in UGC net paper, much questions do not come from this side. It is important topic because it is used in micro questions. It is used in microeconomics questions. ठीक है? Then also when you do, you know, many of you are going to go and pursue your PhD, or you're going to do into research, or you will be assistant professor. So differentiation is very useful for economics overall. Economics के लिए ही बहुत useful है overall. ठीक है, तो differentiation is something, even if let's say कोई question ना आए UGC में, doesn't matter. You have to do it for yourself and not for the paper only. ठीक है, just a second. Okay, so let's do it. Under the differentiation, when I use the word differentiation, differentiation is the process. Differentiation is the process. But what do we do under differentiation? We find out derivative. So derivative is a result, product, whatever you want to say. Now, even I want to tell you one thing. Maybe I take more than the given number of differentiation classes. I think in the beginning of your batch, I mentioned that I might need 3 classes for differentiation, 3 to 4 maybe, but I might take more than that also. The reason is very simple because as I can see, we there are people who are going to learn it from the beginning. So I will go very um, with proper application based examples. Okay, derivative. Okay, now what happens now if I give you a simple equation? Y is equal to 8 plus 2x. Tell me one will change. Will you be able to figure out the value, the new value of y? You will be, right? You will be, isn't it? How? Let's see. I made too many boxes, not even required, but it's okay. Now, this is the value of x, this is y. Let's say x is 1, so y will be 2 into 1, 2, 10. If x is 2, what is the value of y? 4, 4 into 8, 4 plus 8, that is going to be 12. Now this is 3. What will be the value? 14. 4, what will be the value over here? 16, right? 5, what will be the value? 18. 6 pay, what will be the value? 20. What is happening now? For every change which is coming, like x changed by x increased by 1 unit. At every step, x increased by 1 unit. One mark, one number se बढ़ गया, right? And the value of y increased by 2. In every step, it increased by 2. So what have I seen? The change in y due to change in x is equal to 2 at every step here. हर स्टेप पे चेंज इन y ड्यू टू चेंज इन x जो है दैट इज 2. चेंज इन x को वी विल ऑलवेज टेक 1. जब it changed by, when I write in this notation, this automatically means that the change in x is 1. This notation is used for per unit change in x. So for per unit change in x, 2 units change for y. This is constant. No matter x goes from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. No matter. The change over here, the change in y is constant. Okay? This is happening because we have a linear equation. So in a linear equation, finding the change in y due to change in x is very simple to calculate. But on the contrary, if I give you an equation looking like this, if I give you an equation like this, and then I ask you that change the value of x and tell me what is the change coming in y, this will become very difficult. This is a non-linear function. This is a non-linear function. Okay, this is a non-linear function. So for non-linear function, doing this becomes very difficult. So what is this rescue here? Kaise we save ourselves to do this? Anyone? So derivative help us to do that. Derivative की help से I can find out the change in y due to change in x. Okay. Okay. So I was saying that sorry, derivative help you to find this particular thing, that is change in y due to change in x. That is what your derivative exactly tells you. So change in y due to change in x is nothing but it is derivative of y with respect to It is derivative of y with respect to x. Okay, how do we denote derivative? We denote derivative like this: dy upon dx. dy upon dx. या फिर if I'm writing y is a function of x like this, derivative is also denoted by f dash x. It is also denoted by f dash x. Is it clear now? All right. So how do we find out derivatives? First, let's just learn that. ठीक है. थोड़ी सी एक दो टेक्निकल चीजें बता देती हूँ. रीजन असर्शन में यूजीसी में 1 year a question came on this. So I tell you from limit side also. So basically, a function can be differentiable. When I say a function is differentiable, a function is differentiable. A function being differentiable means finding its derivative is possible. Finding its derivative is possible. But if I say a function is not differentiable, a function is not differentiable, it means derivative is not possible. Derivative is not possible. This is what it means. Now, how do I find out? When you do practice, pata chal jayega, but technically, how do I find out? Now, what happens in the case of non-linear? To answer this query, what happens in a case of non-linear function is, this is how, let's say, your non-linear function is looking. Whereas a linear function looks like this. I know in linear function, the slope is constant. It does not change. But here, the slope will change at each and every point. ये चीज लिख सकते हो. If you make a graph, you can write it here. Slope will change at each and every point in a non-linear function. यहाँ पे slope कुछ होगा, यहाँ पे it will be something else. Okay, now it means derivative can be found out at each and every point. What is slope? Slope means change in y due to change in x. So slope is your derivative only. ठीक है. तो जब भी माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स में you have to find out slope of budget line, slope of indifference curve. So what do you have to find out? You have to find out dy upon dx या जो भी function है with respect to that. You always have to find the derivative. Clear? So it is going to be different at different point. So how do mathematically we check the possibility whether a slope exists or not, whether a derivative exists or not? So mathematically we say that, let's say my function y is a function of x. Now when x changes to x plus h, so f of x will change to f of x plus h. H basically means a very minor change. H means a very minor change. Why am I talking about a minor change? Because if I say h changes from here to here, if I talk that this is x plus h, in between the change x से लेके x plus h तक, in between this change, there has been a lot of slope. So I cannot find out the slope at x. So if I have to find out the slope at x, I need to change x by a very minute number that is nothing but closer to 0. That is nothing but closer to 0. So that you remain at the same slope. This is the definition. Okay. So we say that a change in y will be new value taken by y minus old value of y, new value of x minus old value of x. This is change in y upon change in x. Now we just put the limit here that h approaches 0. So if this comes out to be a number, it means derivative exists. If this is not defined, it means the derivative does not exist. This is the technical, you can say, notation of a derivative. This is how you denote derivative at x. ठीक है, अल्टीमेटली x प्लस h माइनस x माइनस x क्या हो जाएगा, 0. So you are going to just left with h over here. Okay, all right. Clear? Okay, this is the technical definition. So we find out derivative at each and every point. Always remember. So एक बार UGC net में a question came on this thing. They gave this kind of question here. This is also known as difference question. If I remove the limit, अगर मैं limit को remove कर दूं, तो this single term is known as difference question. Difference question. So a question came in where they gave this thing in assertion or reason. I don't remember the exact statement. And then they asked something. So इसके ऊपर question आया था. That is why I'm doing it. ठीक है, that's what they do. Now, first let us learn how do we find out the derivative. So standard formulas for derivative. So standard formulas. Okay. What are those? So if I have a power function, how does a power function looks like? Power function is the one like x raised to the power n. What is the derivative? Arrow ke baad I'm going to write derivative. So how do I find out derivative of x raised to the power n? The power comes in front and x is left with one less power. So n comes in front and I write x raised to the power n minus 1. Okay, example, let's take it up. If I have x raised to the power 5, the derivative will be 5x raised to the power 4. If I have x square, derivative is 2x. If I have x only, derivative is 1. Because x का derivative क्या होगा? 1 comes in front, x left with 0. So 1 into 1, which is 1 only. Okay, now after this, if I have a constant number, ऐसी मैंने constant number दे दिया तो its derivative is 0. Why? Because if I say y is equal to 5, now tell me what is the change in y due to change in x. You will say कि y is 5. There is no x that is coming here. So whatever change come in x, there will be no change in y. x में कोई भी change आ जाए, there will be no change that is going to come in y. कोई change नहीं आएगा y के अंदर because y is a fixed number. It's a fixed number. So due to this, I will just say that this will be 0. Constant number का derivative will be 0. Now, if a constant number comes in multiplication, अगर multiplication में आ जाए, then this does not hold true. Because multiplication का मतलब है that number is coming in effect with x. So if it is coming in effect with x, so how can it be 0? What do? If a number is coming in multiplication, I write the number as it is and I do the derivative of x term, which is this. So that's how I do. For example, let's say if I have 5x square, so 5 as it is, x square ka derivative is 2x, that is 10x is my answer. That is 10x is my answer. Okay, now After this, if I combine all of this, let's say ax plus b raised to the power n, if I have a function like this, so what will happen? सबसे पहले तो ax plus b raised to the power n is a power function. So I will write the derivative of power function. N bracket, the function basically, into n minus, raised to the power n minus 1, multiply by. Now, this is derivative of power function. But power function is itself based on the terms of x. मतलब ये तो एक function हो गया, bracket raised to the power n. But this power function is itself based on some function of x. So whenever x will change, it will have two-side impact. First, it will change this, and then it will change the entire function. So now I need to, if I have more terms of x, I need to find out their derivative as well. So multiply by derivative of terms inside the bracket, which will come out to be a, because ax ka derivative a and b ka derivative is 0. So I get the answer as an into ax plus b raised to the power n minus 1. This is what you get from here. Okay, now after this, if I have function of x plus minus o, whatever is there, either plus or minus, if I have sum or difference of two functions and I want to do their derivative, it's very simple. I do derivative of first function plus minus whatever is there, derivative of second function. So basically, when the two functions are in multiplication, I can add them, I can do their derivative separately, and then I can add or subtract as required. Okay? This is what I can do. For example, let's say x square plus 3x. So what can I do? What is the derivative of x square? 2x plus 3x ka derivative is 3. That's how you get it. Okay. Now, the sixth one is the product rule. Product rule basically means that if the two functions f of x, g of x are in multiplication, and I want to find the derivative of dy by dx. So I have product of two functions. The common mistake which people do is they say dy by dx is equal to derivative of f into derivative of g. This is wrong. This is wrong. Whenever I write something, this is how people do, I write the wrong mistake. Always note that down in your notebook. That will save you from making mistake. Okay? Now, what is the product rule? Product rule basically says I'm going to consider this as my first function and this as my second function. This as my first function and this as my second function. So the rule says derivative of when I have this in denominator, I write the square of second function. Square of second function. In numerator, what I do is I do derivative of first function multiply by second function as it is plus derivative of second function multiply by first function as it is. This is what I do. This is the product rule. Okay. Now, let's take an example. Let's say y is equal to x plus 3 square into x raised to the power 5. Let's say we have this. How can I do its product rule? Let's make it x only. So how can I do its product rule? Dy by dx is equal to x square, the square of second term. Okay. Then x plus 3 ka whole square ka derivative is 2 into x plus 3. 1, x का डेरिवेटिव इज 1 प्लस 3 का डेरिवेटिव 0, सेकेंड टर्म एज इट इज प्लस this is f dash x, this is gx. Now I'm going to do the derivative of gx, g dash x, this is g dash x, and then I write the first term as it is. So what do I get? 2x into x plus 3 plus x plus 3 whole square upon x square. You can open this bracket up and you can solve that. इसको open करके you can solve. Oh, just a second. I don't know in what thought. मैं question rule को लेकर ये कर दिया. Just so sorry for this. This is what you have. You just don't do this. So sorry. अभी we have to do question rule. अभी करते करते I was realizing why I'm putting a denominator in. Why am I putting the fraction? That comes in question rule. And I wrote product rule, but I did question rule. So sorry for that. Please update this up. Unnoticingly, I wrote that up. So product rule says that if y is equal to fx into gx, so derivative of this will be, I just do derivative of first term, multiply by second function as it is, plus g dash x, first function as it is. That's it. So no denominator. Question rule, I will tell you, Priyanka, why do we take that? Okay. So now after sixth, we come on to question rule. Question rule. So question rule में the function looks like this: f of x upon g of x in fraction. तो यहाँ पे the question, यहाँ पे the derivative is find out using this. You put the square of the denominator का square as it is. Then whatever you have written in product rule, you write that the only difference is negative will come here. Negative will come here. This is the only difference. Subtract का sign आएगा, not the addition sign. ठीक है? All right. Clear? This is question 2. Now after this 7th, 8th, after this we see the derivative of log function. So log f of x. F of x में मतलब I can write log x, I can write log x square, I can write log x plus 3 square. Anything can come. This just represents function of x. ठीक है? So what is the derivative of log f of x? 1 upon function. Whatever function is written, 1 upon that into derivative of the function. Similarly, if you have exponential function f raised to the power x, derivative is e raised to the power f of x as it is, multiply by f dash x. Then if you have a function, this is natural exponential. If you do not have natural exponential and you have something like this, then the derivative is a f of x as it is. Then what do you write? Then you write log of a, and then you do the derivative of f of x. ठीक है? This is what you do. Trigonometric functions आते नहीं है in your syllabus. So these are the 10 rules you need to learn. These are the 10 rules you need to learn. अब इसके बाद we check the possibility of derivatives. I will tell you some of the cases where derivative fail to exist. where derivative fails to exist. Okay. The first is, if f of x, let's say, is discontinuous at some point, let's say at x is equal to a, then derivative will not exist. Derivative will not exist at x equals to a. जहां पे discontinuity है, make sure, a very common mistake which everyone makes is they say function is discontinuous, you cannot find out derivative. ऐसा नहीं होता. The point where there is the discontinuity, वहां पे the derivative does not exist. ठीक है, वहां पे derivative does not exist. For example, if this is the function, let's say, तो यहाँ पे derivative will exist, यहाँ पे it will exist. Only in this area it will not exist. ठीक है, that's what you do. That's the first thing we get. अब discontinuous किसी भी reason से हो, maybe left hand side, right hand side limit is not equal, maybe any other thing else. Okay, fine. The second case is if f of x has a vertical tangent. I will tell you this as well. Vertical tangent at x equals to a, then derivative fails to exist. Then derivative fails to exist. Now, what do we mean by tangent? अब देखो, tell me one thing. Tell me one thing. This is a curve is looking. Now, if I draw a line here, ठीक है, these two things are colliding at this point. इस point पे ये दोनों चीजें collide कर रही हैं. When two things are intersecting or colliding, whatever you say, colliding वैसे होता है overlapping, but I just said because of slope is colliding here. So if these two things are intersecting here, not intersecting, we will say they are being equal here. What does this mean? This means at point A, slope of curve at point A. Slope of curve is equal to slope of this black line. And what do we call this? This is the tangent. You must have studied about this in class 10th, if you remember. Tangent to the circle. So tangent basically means a line which touches the surface, which touches the curve at just one point. So it is touching just one point. So slope of the curve is always equal to, so when I'm finding slope of curve at a point, slope of the curve at that point is equal to slope of tangent to that point. This is what we learn. Now, when I say about vertical tangent, when I talk about vertical tangent, how come the vertical tangent is the derivative fails to exist in the case of vertical tangent? Let me draw a graph. Let me draw a graph. So now let's say this is how our graph is looking like. If I talk about this point, if I talk about this point, it has a vertical tangent at this point. The tangent is vertical at this point. Why is the case that derivative fails to exist at this point? I show you why it happens. Now, if you look at this point, for single value of x, you see here, for single value of x, multiple values, let me call this, let's say x1. For this single value of x1, multiple values of y exist. Same, इसी x की value के लिए multiple values of y exist. Right? What does this mean? This means if I write change in y upon change in x, so there is no change in x, but yes, there is a change in y. The y is changing. यहाँ पे कुछ है, यहाँ पे कुछ है, but x की value is same. When you have change in y upon 0, what is this? This is not defined. This is not defined. So if it is not defined, it means the derivative is not defined. So derivative fails to exist. Derivative fails to exist here. Okay, clear hai? Any doubt till here? Now, these are some of the cases where derivative fail to exist. Now I tell you some of the cases where the derivatives are very important. So one such case is the case of horizontal tangent. When the curve has horizontal tangent, it becomes very important for us to study. Now please be ready with your chat, with the messages. I'm going to ask you one question just now. So if you're attending from your mobile, just a second. Okay, now fine. If you see a graph like this, if you see a graph like this, I tell you, where does it has horizontal tangent? It has a horizontal tangent here. It has a horizontal tangent here. It has a horizontal tangent here. Okay. Now tell me, what are the common points happening at horizontal tangent? Be very quick. जल्दी से बताओ, what are the common things happening here? The first common thing, graph, the curve is changing its shape. Why? It is increasing here. As soon as I reach horizontal tangent, it has started decreasing. Now it is decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Now as soon as it reaches here, again the horizontal tangent, it has started increasing, 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 increasing. Now as soon as it again reaches the third horizontal tangent, it has started falling. So curvature, the shape of the curve changes, right? So first common point likh lo, that increasing to decreasing or decreasing to increasing happens at the point of horizontal tangent. Second point, what is happening? Yahan pe my function is achieving maximum values. If I look in this area, maximum value is this. If I look in this area, this is the maximum value. And now when I look in this area, this is the minimum value. So at the point of horizontal tangent, the curve will achieve either a maximum value or a minimum value. Third, for the third one, have a look here. For the third one, look here. For multiple values of x, which I have drawn here, there is no change in the y value. Can you see this? For all these values of x, there is no change in y. So change in x, change in y due to change in x. There is change in x, but there is no change in y, so 0. So slope is 0 where you have a horizontal tangent. So how do we interpret it? How do we interpret? When the slope of the curve is 0, that is, it has got a horizontal tangent at that point, the curve will achieve either a maximum or a minimum value and is also going to change the shape. Which shape change होने के कारण ही we are getting the maximum or minimum value. Only because due to the change in the curve, we are getting the maximum or minimum value of my curve over here. So this is the case of horizontal tangent. So wherever the slope of the curve is 0, that is a very important case for differentiation. Now tomorrow we will be talking about different kind of differentiations we have. So that's all for today's class. Now we are going to proceed tomorrow. I'm here for a minute. In case someone has a query, you can drop exclamatory mark in the chat box so that I know that I have to wait. Otherwise, you are free to leave the class. Bye, everyone. Okay, I think everything is sorted. I'm ending the class. Bye, everyone.